Kickoff starts now.
Okay, you can state your pick for Coach of the Year.
So my pick for Coach of the Year is Brian Flores. No, I'm joking. That would have been kind of
funny.
I'm like they're the worst team ever.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're gonna pick. Okay, go on.
What's it called? My pick is Cliff Kingsbury. I think that Coach of the Year is not. I don't think Coach of the Year is an actual award that really means anything. I think it's just for the coach who has the most improved team.
Yep, I was about to say that. Coach of the Year is just is actually another way to say most improved team.
Belichick would win. Belichick would have maybe 12 or 13 coaches of the year.
And he actually has won it like 2 or 3 times anyway, but still.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying like
most of the time it should be just
Belichick.
Yeah.
No, but what's it called? I think that Cliff Kingsbury, I think it's the Cardinals. They have a young quarterback, year 2, right? I don't like their run. I don't like Kenyon Drake, but they got DeAndre Hopkins. Huge addition. Huge.
Yeah, of course.
Their defense isn't that bad. People are underrating them a bit. They have Chandler Jones.
No, I don't think people are. I actually think that the Cowboys defense could be great. And they just signed Everson Griffin, right?
Cardinals.
Oh, Cardinals. Sorry. I don't know what I was talking about. I was in a different zone there. I think it might be clear what my pick is now, but that's whatever. Cardinals. No, the Cardinals defense was pretty terrible last year. I got to tell you that. They do have Chandler Jones, who's a great player. And I regret, I disrespected him in the NFL 100 video that we did. I was kind of unaware of him, but I've looked into him later, and he's a good player. But I'd say as a unit, they're still pretty terrible.
They're not that bad.
They've got an old Patrick
Peterson, Buda Baker, Isaiah Simmons is young. They got some additions over free agency. Their defense is becoming – it's not going to be elite. They have elite players on their defense. I'm not saying it's an elite defense per se, but they for sure have the pieces to be average to above average. Their offense is – I think Kyler Murray is going to take a huge step. They have great weapons. They weren't that bad last year. The only argument against them is that their division is completely stacked with 4 teams that I think all are capable of doing really well. I think that the Cardinals, even though they're in such a stacked division, I think that, first of all, all 4 teams in that division can make.
And also, you can get into your, predictions. You don't have to go full in depth now because, we will be having an episode in a bit about going over each team's.
Yeah. So I just think that they have a really good team. I think that even though they have a very stacked division, and I like all the teams in their division, I really do. I think that they're most likely to go from 4th to 1st. And I think that they can just really step up their game and be an incredible underdog story this year. Just like every year, there's a 4th place to 1st place team.
Yeah,
that could be the Cardinals. I think they could step up and really take over.
Yeah, I'm actually not gonna go crazy on you with this one. I do agree with that pick. There are a lot of coaches I took into consideration with this pick because I think now is definitely a year when a lot of teams have the chance to go on a run. Do well. But again, I was mostly considering that, like you were saying, Coach of the Year really just means what team went from doing badly to doing well, most improved team in 2020. So I considered a guy like Sean McDermott. I was going to say Doug McDermott, Sean McDermott, but I decided not to pick him because the Bills have been making the playoffs for the past few years. So even if the Bills do better or make it to like the championship or something like that, I don't see him winning Coach of the Year just because they've been good. And for that reason, I also eliminated Kyle Shanahan. I think Shanahan should have won it last year, or at least it was very close between Harbaugh and Shanahan. But now that they made it to the Super Bowl last year, even if they make it again, I don't see him winning Coach of the Year just because the award is truly most improved team. So with that said, coaches that I do expect to win it, my number 1 pick, aside from Cliff Kingsbury, would be Mike McCarthy is the first-year coach out of the Dallas Cowboys. The only hesitation I had there was that the Cowboys went 8-8, and again, it's usually a team that went from being worst to first, and the Cowboys were actually pretty close to making the playoffs last year. So that's my one hesitation in that pick, and that's why I could say he wouldn't make it. There are a few other guys I have too, but my reason for it is I think that I say the Cowboys are winning the division this year, and I think it's pretty clear. That's why I was in a different zone when I mentioned that the Cowboys have a good defense, because I was just looking up stuff about the Cowboys. They just got Everson Griffin, like I was saying, and they've been signing a lot of guys to their defense. And also, they have one of the best wide receiver cores in the league with Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. And now Dak Prescott, we're not sure if he's an elite quarterback. We discussed that as well. But he's still a great quarterback, and he's got so many weapons surrounding him because he's also got Zeke that I think this team could definitely take the step up. And with that said, Mike McCarthy is a guy that's been working with Aaron Rodgers for a very long time before coming here to Dallas. And although the relationship between the two kind of turned sour near the end of their time together, I still think Mike McCarthy is a guy who's used to working with quarterbacks, and he could turn Dak into a good quarterback. And I think he'll do well with the roster that the Cowboys have.
Yeah, the Cowboys have a really good roster. It's all about managing the talent. I think that Garrett didn't do a great job.
Yeah, Garrett was always a rah-rah guy, but he wasn't super X's and O's.
Yeah, I'm not very sure. I'm not saying I could do it, but I think that considering all the talent on that team, I'm not sure it's such a hard job to get the Cowboys back.
I guess, but you still got to manage the talent, yeah.
No, obviously, but I'm saying, like, if I were a coach, that would be one of the teams that I would be very happy coaching.
Yeah, for
one
sure.
of the best rosters in the NFL.
If you enjoyed this episode of From the Den, please remember to subscribe, comment, and like this video.
Or, if you're a Packers fan, remember to dislike and leave a nasty comment. Click the links on the screen to access additional content.